It's that time of year. The air is cold, school is out, the radio stations are playing good music, and Tears of the Kingdom got freaking gypped. Yes, for the first time in Fish Activation history, the Game Awards has been put on a day where I had absolutely nothing going on, so I was actually able to watch it. And the first thing we get is a remake of Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. I thought that was a PS4 game. There's no reason to remake a PS4 game. And after that, since this is an award show and not a press conference, we have some awards. First up, Best Family Game. Now, of these, the only one that I've played with more than just myself is Sonic Superstars, which is horrendous to play in multiplayer. And the winner is Mario Wonder. Makes sense. Pony Island 2. Yeah, this definitely reminded me a lot of Pony Island. And also a decent bit of Eastern Mind. And it had King Dragon. That was pretty cool. Rise of the Golden Idol. All we saw was some weird conspiracy type stuff. I'd say it looks interesting, but it's part of Netflix. Usual June. I was just going to pass over it because I wasn't a fan of the art or the animation, and this Banjo-Kazooie style fake voice acting always gets on my nerves. But then I saw the gameplay. I might have to check this out. And then we got a really cool trailer for what ended up just being a spin-off to that anime Plants vs. Zombies game I have on my tablet. The Matchless Kung Fu. It was published by a Chinese company, which means I don't care about it. I just want to laugh at this. Bloody feud. Heavy debts, leg disability, and Warhammer and Assassin's Creed, two properties that I'm desperate to get into, but never will. Back to the awards. This category is innovation and accessibility, and if that means what I think it means, I'm worried about the fact that two fighting games were even nominated. The winner was Forza. Next, they announce a rhythm game where the main character is a deaf girl. Does anyone remember The Quiet Man? And then there were a bunch of awards given out to esports things. You want to know how much I cared?
For Best Esports Event, here are the nominees. 2023 League of Legends World Championship. Blast TV Paris Major 2023. Evo 2023.
Next up, from the creators of Dead Cells, comes a furry game with a lot of blood. That sounds incredible. It's isometric. Gosh darn it. After that is Thrasher, where you control a dragon. It looks a lot like Rez. And also, the music is most certainly not thrash. And then there's an ad break followed by the world premiere of Dave the Diver, which was in the last Nintendo Direct. And now for the award for the best content creator, it goes to some random VTuber. I would talk about how obnoxious VTubers are and how I never watch them, but at the same time, I'd probably be a femboy VTuber if our internet wasn't Xfinity. Back to the game announcements. This is World of Goo 2, a sequel to the cult classic WiiWare title, this time being made as part of Netflix's gaming initiative. Now this one looks pretty interesting. It looks like they added a bit of Where's My Water? Unless that was actually part of the original game. Haven't played it yet. What am I waiting for? And then there was this game. I can't tell whether it was turn-based or real-time, but they advertised it by showing a bunch of people who worked on it, most of whom worked on Megaten games, mostly the Persona games, and there was also one guy who worked on Evangelion. It's called Metaphor. I'm in. And that is the intro. Huh. Typically a Nintendo Direct would end at 40 minutes, but here we are, just half an hour in, and we've still got another 3 hours left. Oh man. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jeff Keighley, host of the Game Awards, as he welcomes Kratos, the God of War. He gets a solid 20 seconds of speaking time before being lightly nudged by the entire orchestra to get on with it and announce the Oscar for Best Performance. Now of these games, the only one that I've played is the base version of Cyberpunk 2077, but I'm going to tell you, if this is the best they could pull, there was no way that Alan Wake 2 was going to win.
Did you write these pages, Mr. Wake? Wake has a double.
The winner was Baldur's Gate 3, and then they brought in the allegedly world-famous actor Matthew McConaughey, who I have never heard of outside of a You Don't Know Jack question, to talk about a new game that he's going to be a part of. Exodus, a sequel. It's a third-person, over-the-shoulder shooter. I don't care. I went and fixed supper while this was playing. And after that, something that should have played while Kratos was up there, a new God of War DLC. From the makers of Untitled Goose Game. Big Walk. I can't tell if it's a chat room or a parody of Journey. All I know is that it reminds me of those pigeon books. And then we get another ad break featuring not Prince of Persia and also Lego Fortnite. I care nothing for Fortnite, but I respect this trailer because it uses any way you want it. And then this ugly woman comes up on stage along with an entire orchestra to showcase a new trailer for Hellblade 2, and I swear to God, every single time we see more stuff on Hellblade, it looks worse. And then we have half the development team from Mortal Kombat 1, Mortal Kombat 1992, come up to announce the Oscar for Best Narrative. Again, I haven't played any of these games. The winner was Alan Wake. And then this little Japanese girl comes up to talk about her new video game company, Unseen, named as such because she doesn't like the fact that artists don't get the recognition they deserve. As a precaution and to protect her anonymity, I have decided to blur her face. And then there's this game, Kimuri, which was made by absolutely no one. It looks really cool, but we didn't see any gameplay. No Rest for the Wicked is another isometric ARPG, this time taking place in medieval times. So it's basically every ARPG that no one cares about. And I get it. Money don't grow on trees. And then there's another ad break, where dedicated an awful amount of time to Discord. Back to the actual awards, we got Gonzo here talking about how much he loves chasing chickens in Tears of the Kingdom. The part where they bring in the Muppet is always the best part of every game award. Meanwhile, the award is for the best indie game of the year. Of course, with these options, the winner is clear. The one that's been spread around every social media imaginable. It's the one that everyone keeps talking about. It's the one that spawned a million memes. I am, of course, referring to Pizza Cocoon. What? And then Sega announces a new Jet Grind Radio, a new Streets of Rage, a new Golden Axe, a new Shinobi, a new Crazy Taxi, a new Knights. Wait, no new Knights? Oh, okay. But hey, this is still incredible. Streets of Rage and Crazy Taxi are my jam. Even though the Streets of Rage thing doesn't look that good. And then there's a Dragon Ball Z fighting game. And you know what? If I can find a full month where I'm not watching any other anime, I will watch either Dragon Ball or Gintama. And then there's Dead by Daylight spin-off, which definitely exists. Whoa, a new Mana game? And yeah, Visions of Mana looks great, but at the same time, the entire time, until they actually revealed the name, I thought it was just a remake of Secret. It feels like they just borrowed way too much from Secret instead of trying to make a brand new game. I mean, the main character looks almost exactly like Randy, and here he is fighting Rabbites and that giant mantis from the beginning of the game that nobody liked. Rise of the Ronin is another 3D hack and slash set in ancient Japan. I have no idea why, but I always want to play these types of games, and then I forget about them 5 seconds later. And now for the award for Best Action Game. Once again, I haven't played any of these games, but my vote was on Hi-Fi Rush, because I've heard it was Devil May Cry as a rhythm game. It went to Armored Core 6. And now we have the award for Best Art Direction, and honestly, with these 5 options, I could go for any of them as long as the winner isn't Alan Wake 2. What is wrong with you people? Best VR AR. I don't have VR. The winner was Resident Evil 8. There's a category for the Best Mobile Game. And then we get to another ad break, including a commercial for Venba, a game made by an Indian, where you play as an Indian, and it's about the struggles of being an Indian. There is also this ad for quitting smoking, and honestly, it just made me want to pick up smoking. And now we get to know about Hideo Kojima's Xbox exclusive game that's coming out soon. Crack. I was sold on Kojima alone. And then the man himself comes on stage with music from Nine Inch Nails playing in the background. That would have been awesome if the music didn't come from hesitation marks. And then Keighley and Kojima have a nice little conversation where Kojima says a whole lot of nothing. And also notably, he has an interpreter. I thought he could speak English. And then suddenly, Jordan Peele, a name I recognized, but for absolutely nothing. After doing some research, turns out he was the guy who directed that Nope movie that nobody watched. Alright. After the OD presentation is done, we get a Jurassic Park game. My experience with the Jurassic Park series goes no further than the World Trilogy. And then this guy in a sparkly shirt comes in to announce the Oscar for Best Audio Design. Again, Hi-Fi Rush. Yeah, Fortnite Racing. Okay, here's a game called Black Myth Wukong. It's based off of Journey to the West, and now I want to read Journey to the West because this looks incredible. The Suicide Squad game looks like crap. More content for Warframe. The only thing I care about regarding Warframe is the We All Live Together song. Cold, the air and water flowing, hard, the land we call our own. Push to keep the dark from coming, feel the weight of what we owe. This The song of sons and daughters hide the heart of who we are. Making peace to build our future. Strong, united, working till we fall. Banishers. Some guy has a half-dead wife and has to choose between killing her and bringing her back. Geez, I wonder what the correct option is. Ready or not? I'm guessing you're playing as a SWAT team. Next award is Games for Impact. I have no idea what that means. But whatever it was, the winner was Chia. And then we have some guy talking about how his dad died and he made this game to honor his dad. And I think I might be completely devoid of empathy because the whole time I was thinking, shut up, we don't need to hear your life story, just get onto the game. That said, the Dad game really does look like a really good Metroidvania. And then there's this game made by the creators of Life is Strange that focuses on a bunch of women. Yeah. And here's a game called Kazan. It's another 3D hack and slash. That's pretty cool. And also, it's a spin-off of, say it with me now, a game I've never heard of. Then Jeff Keighley comes back and brings out the orchestra for the world premiere of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. We have heard so much of this game. But hey, at the very least, the song the orchestra played that was apparently in the game is beautiful. In fact, go ahead, stop this video, go listen to that, and then come back, because woo! February 29th will be the day of all time. Also, Final Fantasy VII and Apex Legends are crossing over. Does anyone actually care about Apex? Back to the awards. We got Best Score in Music. I was hoping for Hi-Fi Rush because it has music by Nine Inch Nails. It went to Final Fantasy XVI. And then we got Best Indie Game again. Although I guess last time it was actually debut indie game. I haven't played any of these games, but I was voting for Sea of Stars because it was based on Chrono Trigger. Sea of Stars. Best Community Support. Is that even a question? Cyberpunk straight up became a good game. Baldur's Gate 3. Best Fighting Game. How the hell did Nick All-Star Brawl 2 get here? Street Fighter 6. Most anticipated game. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the sequel to the greatest video game of all time. We got a MiHoYoverse game, which means it's a Chinese gacha game. Anyone who says Uwo will become a shish kebab. Fortnite and Call of Duty back-to-back. Instant sleep. Skull and Bones. I just liked how they were doing the sea shanty. Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. And for this next game, they were really hyping up the developers, only for it to just be Bethesda. But it's Blade. I love the Blade movies, the first and third one specifically. In fact, I have the first one on DVD. I bought this at a garage sale for $1. And now there's a game coming out. Oh, man. And then Will Smith comes up on stage to tell us that, yes, Twisted Metal Season 2 is coming, as if anyone had any doubt. And then he gives out, I can't call it an Oscar because it's a specifically game-specific award, so the Game Award for Best Ongoing Game. I would want to give it to Final Fantasy XIV simply because they added Stormblood to the free trial. But Cyberpunk is a close second, sure. And then we get trailers for 2 games, Last Sentinel and First Descendant. I think those should have been the other way around. Last Sentinel had a cyborg chick on a motorcycle killing some dudes, and that is awesome. Meanwhile, First Descendant had a bunch of women in spacesuits fighting tentacle robots, and that is also pretty awesome. And then there's another MiHoYo game. I'm pretty sure this is the one that actually censored the bounce on one of the characters' giant breasts. Oh, but you can keep the lollies. We can keep the children. And then there's Mecha Break. I need to play more mech games. And then they had an entire band sing about Alan Wake 2. Imagine spending hundreds of days or weeks making a fantastic game, only to name it Get the Fuck. And from the same developers as Payday and Granny Tulip's Fun Outing, Den of Wolves. We saw 0 gameplay, and I don't care who you are, unless your name can't be pronounced by 30% of Americans, you cannot sell a game based on pedigree alone. Exoborn, we got people fighting in a tornado, and one of these guys is a complete and utter idiot. Asgard's Wrath is a VR game, no thank you. A new trailer for the Fallout TV show, except my dad and I watched this trailer the day before. And then the crew comes out to give out the Oscar for Best Adaptation of a Video Game into a film-type medium.
Mario! 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 Mario!
Last of Us. Well, I mean, these are the Game Awards, the same people who gave The Last of Us 2 like a million awards back in 2020, 2021, I don't remember. And, I mean, The Last of Us TV show was really good, except for episode 3. But come on, the Mario movie.
In an insane world, it is the same, but it's called crazy.
After another ad break, we get a panel on No Man's Sky. Remember the last time you heard about No Man's Sky? Yeah, it was when I was saying that nobody talks about No Man's Sky, which is when it was ported to the Switch, like, months ago. After that is No Man's Sky. Remember when everyone hated that game? And then it got updated and everyone stopped talking about it because there was nothing to talk about? Well, it turns out the developers of No Man's Sky are making a brand new game called Light No Fire. It's like No Man's Sky, but it takes place on one planet in medieval times with dragons. And then this guy comes up to announce a brand new MOBA that no one's going to care about, and also give out the Game Award for the Best Action-Adventure Game. And geez, I wonder what the winner will be. Probably freaking Zelda. And now for the Best RPG. I haven't played any of these games. I would probably say Final Fantasy 16. The winner was Baldur's Gate 3, the game where you can have sex with a bear. Best Sim and Strategy Game. I played Pikmin 4 at a demo kiosk and hated it. Best Sports and Racing Game. Forza, we need to return to F-Zero. Best Multiplayer. Turns out you can have sex with a bear with friends. Player's Voice. Bestiality will be legal in the next 5 years. And now it's time for an ad break. Holy moly, Clash of Clans in real life! A new character was added to Guilty Gear Strive. Now, I recently started playing Guilty Gear X2 a tiny bit, and I've actually been really loving it. I don't typically play fighting games, but this one is really good. But Strive, I think we're going to skip out on, because for one thing, I'm not a fan of the art style. For another thing, I've heard that the mechanics were dumbed down. And for a third thing, I don't want to talk about that one. Yes. Paid story DLC for a $70 game. I'm no communist, but that doesn't sound right. And then the man behind Call of Duty comes up to present the Oscar for Best Direction. Great idea. Have the man who put the gaming industry straight down the toilet, have him put it out. And what a shock. Instead of going to Tears of the Kingdom like it ought to, it went straight to Alan Wake. And here's a game called The Finals. You can't convince me that this isn't just Deathloop. And after one more ad break, they have one final world premiere. Monster Hunter Wilds. I don't really care. Now don't get me wrong, I love Capcom, but I love Capcom's money sinks. Mega Man, Devil May Cry, Phoenix Wright, I could eat those up all day. Street Fighter, Resident Evil, and Monster Hunter, I know more about the live-action movie adaptations. And I've never seen the Street Fighter movie, so that's saying something. And now, for the big moment, Game of the Year 2023. It's a choice between Alan Wake, Baldur's Gate 3, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, the Resident Evil 4 remake, and Tears of the Kingdom. It's Tears of the Kingdom.
And the Game of the Year is Baldur's Gate 3.
No. Let's just put aside the sex with a bear jokes. Look at this. Look at this gameplay that I stole from IGN. This looks like a chore to play. For starters, it is a turn-based RPG that should have died with Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts should have set the standard for all RPGs. Turn-based combat is outdated. And then even the overworld movement looks horrendous. It looks like they shoved an MMORPG system into a single-player game. Who does that? Why? Are they just trying to design it so that console players couldn't play it? Even though console is the only system that matters? Maybe I actually need to play it to understand why people like it, but just looking at it, no. It looks terrible. And that is the ceremony. What we've learned today is that the general consensus is completely and totally wrong, so nothing new. So, what's my Game of the Year 2023? Well, of the new games that I played this year, disqualifying remasters and collections, I've played Theater of the Final Bar Line, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Sonic Superstars, Target kiosk demos of Mario Wonder and Pikmin 4, a tiny amount of Pizza Tower, and Coffin of Andy and Lele, which I played with my sister. If you know that game, you're probably puking your brains out after hearing that. So, other games I've played this year, Tears of the Kingdom. That would be my game of the year, although I haven't played Final Fantasy 16, so this is subject to change. Alright, and now that I'm done with this and school, I guess I can finally celebrate the Christmas season. Oh, wait a minute.